Yes, everyone, what's going on? This is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils, and we've got some excellent good news for you. And the good news is that Fred has been confirmed. His medical has been passed, and obviously the god of the transfer market for us, Craig Norwood, has dropped a couple of absolutely belting tweets, which I'm going to go read out for you guys right now. I'm just going to pull them up. So the first tweet is talking about the fact that Fred has been our first signing of the summer, and Diogo Dalot will be the second with his medical penciled in for the next 48 hours. The second tweet isn't coming up at the moment. So he says, Fred Rodriguez has completed his medical at Carrington today. The final paperwork will be signed before the official announcement in the next 24 hours. So we have our first transfer window signing of the summer all sorted. So let's talk a little bit about who Fred is, what we're going to get from Fred and all the rest of it. So Fred was signed for Shakhtar Donetsk in 2013 as a replacement for Fernandinho. Now I think that's a really interesting point, because I think that if he was signed as a replacement for Fernandinho, obviously who came to City, I wonder if City was signing him as a replacement for Fernandinho, keeping that trend going. He's a well-rounded number 8. He's very good going forward. He's got an average of 1.1 key passes a game, 86% passing accuracy, and he's got 1 goal, 1 assist in games for Shakhtar in the Champions League this season. He's often played as a number 6, but I don't think United will play him as a number 6. I think we can. He can play on that same sort of line as Matic, but I think to get the best out of Fred and for us to get the best out of our midfield, he's got to be paired with Pogba in a midfield 3. I've mentioned this before, and a lot of people clearly got the wrong end of the stick in what I'm sort of saying. I'm not saying he's the same sort of player as Alexis Sanchez, but the characteristics of him are quite similar. The way he dribbles, the way he moves the ball around, they remind me of an Alexis Sanchez running. It might just be the way small people run with the ball, but he reminds me of that very much. Made his debut in Brazil in 2014, and has got 7 caps for his country so far. He's been described by the Shakhtar manager, Lucescu, as a star signing with a miner's character. That means a guy that loves to graft, and I think that's someone that we need, is someone that can come in and graft for us. Picked up 14 yellow cards last season, so there might be some sort of disciplinary issue. Maybe he's someone that goes over the line a little bit at times. He's got the best dribble success in the Champions League last season. Success rate with 95% of his dribbles coming off. That's phenomenal. Came through the Porto Alegre Academy in Brazil prior to his move to Internacional, and his agent is the former Arsenal midfielder Gilberto Silva. He was banned from football for 4 months because of testing for tested positive for something called hydrochlorothiazide. Do you know what? I'm going to Google that and find out exactly what the hell that is, because I don't know what it is either. It's a diuretic. So there you go. That's the official announcement. It's not the official announcement from the club, but the medical has been signed. There will be a further official announcement, and I'm sure some sort of video from the club as well, where they're going to be unveiling him, probably with the mascot to some degree, I am sure. Right, let's see what you dudes are saying in the comments. Is everyone happy about it and all the rest of it? So it looks like also Dalot is coming as well. That seems to be a signing that we are making. I'm reckoning Dalot's probably going to be more of a backup to Valencia for this season, and maybe that's someone that they're looking to take it the next level. Quality signing, says Andy Smith. Fellaini out, says Leonardo. Don't think you need to worry about that one. It will be 10 p.m. tonight, says Ash. How about Dalot? So Dalot's a young right back that's got a cross on him. I think he's pretty decent going forward with the ball. I don't think I've seen enough of him, and all the stuff I'm watching of him is really under 19 football, especially as well, or second division over in Portugal. I'm not really seeing enough of him from the defensive aspects, and I think that is what United definitely need. But going forward, he's definitely got what we need in that final third. He's someone that can cut on his left, he can cut on his right, he's got a cross on him, and that, at the moment, I said on Twitter a week or so ago, he would start for Manchester United based on what I've seen. And people are like, how can you say he would start for us? Well, I'm basing it more on what we've currently got rather than how good this kid is. What we've currently got is an old winger that's, for some reason, actually worse at going forward than he is defensively. He's very solid defensively. I can only assume he stopped training going forward to make sure he got it going backwards. And Ashley Young. So he would start at either fullback for me at the moment. That's the top and bottom of it. I saw some variety rumours over the weekend, says Tom Smith. Yep, and I'll be smashing them to pieces in the transfer review, which I'm sure is incoming very soon. United's mascot is probably the most underrated footballer ever, says Habibo. Wouldn't it be funny if Fred took the number 55, which is Fred the Red's number? I bet someone at the club probably won't let him do it, will they? Matthew Jones says the pundits on ESPN said he's a better option, the Ukrainian league. So we have seen him in the Champions League, and that's all we can really go off, can't we? And Shakhtar aren't a team that are ever going to cause chaos in the Champions League. So maybe it's time to see whether that can be stepped up. Any news on Toby Alderweireld? There's no news on any other incomings at the moment. As it stands, those are the two that we know something of. Those are the two that seem to really come to the fore. The other ones that feel close is Alexandro and Toby Alderweireld. Now, if those come off and we get somebody like a Bale, that would be a very successful window, in my opinion, for Manchester United. Would love to see Sandro, says Byron. Rodrigo says, I'm a Porto fan and you will get a great player for the future in Dalot. He didn't get much game time last year because we had Rigo and Maxi on the right, both going to the World Cup, and Tellers on the left. Yeah, for Porto's fullbacks, if we could go and steal their first choice fullbacks, United would be a different prospect next season, absolutely. What about Bale? As I said earlier, these are the ones that was feeling like they was close, and they look like they've now become more close than they initially seemed to be. The rest of them, we're just going to have to wait and see. I think the World Cup's going to play a massive part in this, but somebody like Bale, who's not going to the World Cup, that might be a deal that United are able to make happen in the coming weeks. Would love to see Jonathan Tah to start with Bailey. I definitely think we've got to sign somebody else to play centre-half. Blind to Inter, thoughts, says Paul McKeown. Blind's going. And I think somebody like Marshall's probably going to be joining him, not necessarily at the same club, but I think there's going to be several players, a hell of a lot of players actually, going. Will we still go for Milinkovic-Savic? It was my gut feeling that it was an either-or thing. Like it was a little bit like we was never really in for Morata and Lukaku. It was going to be whichever one was our first choice. It might not be an either-or thing if we was to let somebody like Pogba go. But my gut feeling, especially with the news that Jose Mourinho supposedly saying he's happy with Paul Pogba, is Jose's probably going to try and make it happen with them three as a midfield. Bale for left back sounds perfect, says Tejas. What about Ronaldo? Look, Ray, we're not signing Ronaldo. Okay. What about De Gea? Now, that's the problem. When you go and speak to Real Madrid, that's always on the table, isn't it? That's always a card that Real Madrid can play. And I don't like the gamble of that because, excusing what happened this weekend, David De Gea is a flawless goalkeeper, and I wouldn't want to see him go for anywhere. Willian is still a good option to consider, says Billy. Billy, I agree, mate. I think Willian could be the sort of unspectacular signing that brings a bit of balance. One of the lads I was chatting to earlier said Fred is a real not United signing. The way we've signed players in the last 4 or 5 years, Fred doesn't fit that mould, and that's probably a good thing. And I absolutely agree, that's probably a good thing. When will it be officially announced? Probably when they've done all the different shirt sponsorships and had the photo shoots for all the website and everything like that. United really take the time in doing this sort of stuff. We don't rush it out. Will any players sign new contracts? I don't think so. No one that we've not heard. Any news on the Pogba-Bale swap deal? I talk about that in the transfer review, which is coming very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Varane is good. We should get him rather than Alderweireld. Well, it's not Tesco, mate. You can't just walk in and pick them up off the shelf. You have to negotiate with them. What if the player doesn't want to come? He's not going to be a good signing if he doesn't want to come, is it? If Alderweireld wants to come and Varane doesn't, then he's the better signing. What number will he take? Don't know, mate. Can Pogba be the leader in this midfield? He's got it in him, and he's certainly got the ability to be. I just don't know whether he does have that real Brian Robson, Roy Keane sort of captain in him. He's got to cut the silly mistakes out and make better decisions. If he can do that, then he absolutely could be. Need to sign Alderweireld and offload Smalling along with Darmian and Blind. We should really talk about Fellaini to Arsenal because that's hilarious, especially the way the Arsenal fans give it out. But I'm not going to do that because I think they've suffered enough recently. Give it a week. How much did he cost? The rumours are he's costing between anywhere from 50 to 60 million euros, which is 10% less in pounds, really. So somewhere in the region of 45 to 48 million pounds, something along those lines. Finally getting our business done early. Great work, says Clownbag. I agree, mate. Yeah, and I was quite surprised that we managed to get this deal done. Now, a lot of United fans was like, well, Fabinho managed to get done for Liverpool. Fabinho's not in their World Cup squad. I'm actually surprised that he's been allowed to have a break today. I know they played this weekend, but I'm actually surprised that they did give him a break and allowed him to come and make this signing happen today. I'm pretty surprised that they made that happen. What do I think of Fred as a player? I'm not as pumped as I would be with some other players because I don't know enough about him to be certain of what we're getting. What I've seen in the Champions League I quite like. He's definitely a grafter. As I said, I think there's a lot of sort of the way he plays football. Obviously plays it a lot further back, 20 metres further back, but there's a lot of Alexis Sanchez on him, except he doesn't get shoved off the ball as much. I think he could easily work in a midfield three with Pogba and Matic. He's definitely going to bring that spark and that energy and that industry that United need. There's a bit of a Ramirez that Chelsea used to have about him. Someone that's just that ultimate grafter, that keeps the tick going, that keeps the tempo going on the side. And United lack that at times. United get lethargic and we don't start moving, and I think we really need somebody. Game changer, says Bridge. I don't know about that, but he's a very good signing. It should be an upgrade for us. But definitely got to upgrade that back line. For me, we upgrade the back line and we're absolutely laughing. Would love to get Hummels. Has he even played this season? I don't know if he's even played this season. Fred and Sanchez, how can you compare? Go look at them. Go look at them. I'm not saying that they're the same player. I'm saying that they move the ball around the same way. Just look at the characteristics of both of those players. They're not the same player, but go look at them. What do I think about United title challenge next season on the basis we get the targets? I think if we get everybody that Jose wants, then that's happy days. Ashwin, who would I take, Fred or Jorginho? I like Jorginho. I think City have got an excellent player if he ends up going there. And you're not going to clip me up saying that we didn't want him or anything. I'd have loved him at United. I think he was a real heir to Michael Carrick's sort of throne. I'd love to have seen him there. But we've got Fred, and if that's the guy that Jose Mourinho wants, then I'm happy. Next season's the last chance for Pogba, says Regan. I don't know about that. Greetings from Macedonia. Hello, thanks for joining us. Who the bloody hell is Dalot? I can't find highlight videos of the kid. I posted something on Twitter about a week ago. Go and check that out. It's like a little highlights clip of him going forward. His dribbling, his crossing, his counter-attacking, and then his tackling. Does Andres Pereira still have a chance, even as a second choice behind Pogba or Freire? I don't know. We find out in pre-season. Can I do a tactical analysis like I did with Lindelof? I can try. Absolutely. Who will be the captain next season? Paul, I think you make an interesting point. I think it's probably going to be Valencia, but I'm not sure he's a real leader. I think it's going to be a very interesting thing that we find out in pre-season. Could we sign someone, possibly? Who would I rather have, Bale or Ronaldo? Bale, I think. I reckon. I'd have Bale. Hello from Nigeria. Hello. Will Dalot slide into the first team? I don't think he will. I think what he's going to do is he's going to come into to shadow Antonio Valencia, probably get his chance every now and then to rotate through Valencia, and then we'll find out what the crack is. Captain will be De Gea, says Dom. That's not a bad shout. Isaac also saying De Gea. How much is Savic worth? I have no idea. Transfers, the fees that they pull out, I don't know. Whatever you can get them for, if you're happy to pay it, that's how much they're worth. Shout out Bolton. Hello, Bolton. Coming in your ears. Give it to Dave or Smalling. Smalling, really? Do I think these signings really improve the squad? Yeah, I think we needed a dynamic midfielder. Dalot, we need him, to be honest. We need the backup in those areas. We need a starter in those areas. But yeah, I think there's a lot more to do. 120 million or more for Savic is probably going to be, yeah, you're right, and that's madness. But this is the world that we live in now. Right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back with tomorrow's transfers today, this evening at 11 o'clock. We've also got the transfer review video coming out very soon, so make sure you check out both of those videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.